I got Mr. J.C. Hartman. Mr. Hartman, let me just find out about it. Let's say your career is so big. It expands so wide from baseball to being the first black in Houston to be on the Colt 45 and the Houston Astros, and to all the way to HPD being the first black to be on the Houston Police Department. Supervisor. Okay, we call them supervisors. Okay, but let's start off, Mr. Hartman, with your baseball career. Because I got all my baseball stuff on, my old Negro uniform, so I want to let you...
You're looking real good, too, by the way, man. I'm telling you, when you leave here, I want you to leave the shirt with me.
All right, Mr. Hartman. I'll promise you that.
Okay. Now, if you want to go way back, let's go back a little step further than you just mentioned. Houston Astros, Colt 45, we have to go back to Houston Buffs.
Okay.
Fingers Furniture.
Okay.
Cullen, 45, Gulf Freeway.
Okay, that was a minor league team.
Fingers Furniture, there was a baseball park there at that time, and the baseball park was called Houston Buffs. It's the Houston Buffs Park.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. You want to, I'll take a time out. Oh, there we go. There we go, Mr. Hartman. Yes, sir. Now, you was telling us about the Houston Buffs.
Houston Buffs, located at the baseball park, was located at the corner of Cullen and the Gulf Freeway.
Okay.
Now, Fingers Furniture, they eventually tore the park down and they built a furniture store there, Fingers Furniture.
Okay.
And from what I understand, they're getting ready to tear that down.
Which is a historical area.
Right.
Because that was the first professional team.
Baseball.
That ever, well, really, that was
that
was the first professional team that ever came to Houston. Because it wasn't no Oilers.
Right.
It wasn't. Mr. Adams hadn't bought the Oilers yet.
This is right.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, this being a minor league team, how was it affiliated with St. Louis or Chicago? Who players?
Well, at the time I was here, I was with the Cubs organization.
Oh, that's
they go from sometimes they switch them around and whatnot, but I was with the Cubs. I just signed with the Houston, the Chicago Cubs.
So you originally signed with the Cubs, so you was around Ernie Banks.
Right.
That's why you and Billy Williams got to be such close friends.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And that name's synonymous with the Williams name because, see,
I always was proud of it.
In baseball, Billy Williams and I, we played in the minors together, and we kind of come up through the baseball system, through the ranks. And then in my next career, which we'll get into shortly, is law enforcement, and there's another Billy Williams.
Oh, wow.
I used to get them mixed up sometimes.
You used to get them mixed up because they both of them are your close friends.
Right. I would call one, I'd be talking to him, and I said, wait a minute, I got the wrong Billy Williams. I had to call him back.
Oh, okay. So now let me ask you this. Was Ron Santos with y'all in that minor league organization?
Ron Santos, believe it or not, he was with us, and we were in San Antonio.
Okay.
His first professional game, Ron Santos, he passed, by the way. Sorry. But his first pro game in baseball, I looked down and I saw it before we went on the field. I said, hey, you got to come back inside. I said, he got yellow strings in his spine.
Yellow springs in his spine.
You don't wear yellow strings in his
white.
White. No, it was black.
Black. Okay. All right.
Because see, that don't mix. So I took him back inside. And we put black strings in his spikes because he was playing third base, and I was playing
shortstop. So y'all right next to each other.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So, and all down through the years and up through the years, we laugh and talk about that.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Hartman. Was Ernie Banks on that? Ernie Banks was already with the organization.
Ernie Banks was
he was already
made it to
the major league. Y'all was trying to make it to the major.
Right.
Okay.
Right. We were aspiring to become major.
Now let me ask you this. So when did Houston sign you from Chicago?
Actually, Houston signed me from the Kansas City Monarchs.
Oh.
That's what happened. See, they bought me and a guy named George Altman, and myself and a guy named Sweet Lou Johnson.
Okay.
And the three of us, they purchased the three of us from the Kansas City Monarchs, which is a Negro League team.
And
boy, that was an experience.
That was an experience because now you're in the major league now.
Now we're in with a major league team.
Y'all with a major league team, but y'all haven't made it yet.
Aspiring to be
in the majors. Okay.
Right.
Now,
right.
with these coming to, and then it was called the Houston Coke 45.
The first team was the Houston Buffs, and then from there.
But the first professional National League, Major League team was the Coke 45. Because the Buffs was a minor league team.
Right.
So therefore, when y'all came over here, this is another question. I'm so happy to be here with Mr. Hartman.
Thank you.
Because I have been keeping up with you for so long, and knowing that Fred Harfine's daddy, Roy Harfine, who helped build the Astrodome and helped bought Major League Baseball in, he signed you.
Right. He did.
Wow, man! I was out there because mostly black players, if you look at it, Mr. Hartman, they were outfielders. Weren't too many black infielders other than Jackie Robinson.
You're right.
And Maury Wills.
You're right, Maury Wills.
And the great Ernie Banks.
Ernie Banks.
I mean,
I've always admired all three of them, and I got to know them.
Up until today, right now, even from the time the Coke 45 to the Astros to what it is today, it ain't that many black shortstops that came through Houston.
Right, you're right about that.
Other than you, and also I can't forget about Sonny Jackson, because you laid the ground down for Sonny Jackson. You laid the ground down for Joe Morgan. Them people, I mean, let's face it, Mr. Hartman. I was brought up. I watched you lay the ground down, just like Jackie Robinson laid ground down for blacks to come in the major league. You laid ground down for blacks to come into Houston, such as Joe Morgan.
Yeah, well, this is true. They paid me.
They played under you. Okay, tell me about that.
Paul Richards, you know, he didn't.
Yeah, don't never Paul Richards. Joe Morgan. I used to talk to Joe. That wasn't Joe's favorite brother. Tell me about Paul Richards.
Paul Richards was a man of few words.
He's a general manager.
He would come and he would just observe and say very few things.
Mm-hmm.
But he called me one day.
Okay.
And see, my thing was feeling. I wasn't that much of a hitter, but feeling, I could feel the ball.
Your defense. You want to let nothing get through.
Well, I was trying not to let anything good. And he asked me, he said, I want you to take Joe Morgan and Jim Wynn. Jim Wynn was a shortstop at one time. Okay, I didn't know that. Yes, he did. First came in as a shortstop. And say, I want you to work with him around second base, show him how to keep him getting killed around second base. And I will sweeten your paycheck. And he did that.
He did that.
And I bought rent property with some of that.
With the money
I was trying to make it because I knew I wasn't that much of a hitter, and I knew my days and your days in baseball are limited. You never know. It could be an injury. It could be anything that stop you from playing. And when you consider you reach the plateau of Major League, you've got to be on your game constantly. Believe me. Because see, when they throwing Bob Gibson or some pitcher like that, throwing that
Don Drysdale. He would love to try to hit you. Sandy Koufax. Right. Oh man, I could go on and on to see all the pitches that you faced, Mr. Hartman.
Try it. Believe me, man. With J.R. Richards, they throwing 100 miles.
Yeah, I remember J.R. Yeah.
See, that hard slider.
Well, see, when you came in,
that's right.
They had all those great pitches. I mean, you talking about the Dodgers had Drysdale. Yeah, right. They had Koufax. They had Sandre Padre. Yeah. Then they had Warren Pronoski. I kept up with them baseball cards, y'all. Now that's the reason why I can talk to Mr. Hartman. Yeah, I've been begging to get there one day to come here to Third Ward and talk to Mr. Hartman.
Leave the Dodger Stadium and you go to Frisco.
Oh, you got
Juan Marshall and people like that, man.
Oh yeah, and he started kicking his feet up, and next thing you know,
that
high kick, and then all of a sudden, then you looking at such great guys you had to come up against, like Willie Mays. You got pictures of Willie. You got Willie McCovey. You got Orlando Cepeda. You got Jose Pecan. I could go on. You got Joey Malpatano.
Right. Oh yeah. But you know, one of the most amazing things that ever happened in my eyesight of baseball, and I witnessed it. We were in San Francisco, and I just said, something is going on here. What is going on? I looked out in the outfield. I had Matty Alou, Felipe Alou.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Alou. How many is that?
That's 3 brothers.
That's 3 brothers in the outfield.
I'll be
playing
doggone.
at one time, and they're all doing well. Now, when will you see that again?
You never.
I don't believe so.
I remember Matty.
Yeah,
I remember. Felipe was the oldest, wasn't he?
I played against
Felipe.
outfield with 3 brothers.
In the league. You sure right. Because I forgot about Jose Felipe. I knew Matty. Because, you know, Matty even had a son that not too long played baseball.
You know, Matty has since passed.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. But I feel so fortunate being able to play against, and then the likes of Kurt Flood, and he in the battles that he was going through, and the things that he went through trying to get baseball players
to get more money. Right, because during the time when you
one
play,
team would just get you, and they had a monopoly over you. They couldn't.
You
couldn't move. You couldn't do anything. You were just under their under their contract. Right. You couldn't. And he fought this.
In other words, what is saying now, Mr. Hartman, is these major league owners, they were like slave owners. Once they get you on, let's face it.
It's kind of rough. It's kind of rough.
But once they get you on the contract, it's like being on a plantation.
Yeah,
you can't go nowhere. And Kurt Flood came in
and fought the battle.
And the bad part about it,
he ran. They actually, I don't know, it was the mafia. I don't know who it was, but they said you got to go.
Wait a minute.
And believe me, he had to leave the country.
Okay, now.
Or we're gonna kill you.
Okay.
Now,
let me just give you my input.
Okay.
Mr. Hartman, because I've been around and I dig into it. Okay, when you running against the owner of the St. Louis Cardinals, which was August Busch, who owned Budweiser.
Right.
Man, this is a powerful man you trying to fight. You trying to fight Mr. Busch, the Clydesdale, the St. Louis Cardinals. And when you talk about baseball, what is baseball without St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Yankees? You ain't got no baseball. And the Clydesdale. The Clydesdale came with the St. Louis Busch Stadium.
Yeah, right.
As of today, what baseball team is still maintaining itself other than the Yankees and the St. Louis Cardinals? Yankees on one side, American, St. Louis on the other side. I know not only know about the game, but